So again, there's no such thing as free, and that's the best part about this bullshit of socialists. There's no such thing as free when the government fucking gets you this shit. Um, so what we have here, right? We got this fucking dumb fuck mayor in Dearborn again, right? This fucking Islamic radical Abdullah Hamoud, right? Saying that he doesn't care about the complaints from citizens of noise complaints because of the Muslim call to prayer in the community. And he says, no, it's perfectly fine because we ran a test, a decibel test, and it's within the decibel reading, and so we simply don't care. And then this is the best part of what he wants to say. He continued, we also have to uphold our constitutional rights to freedom of religion. And I would say this, that's the thing. I'm saying this as a Muslim. Well, you fucked it up right there, boy, because you as a mayor should not be operating as a Muslim. You should be operating as a nonpartisan in your mayoral capacity. But thank you, Abdullah Hamoud, for proving the fact that Islam is not a religion that separates church and state, and that they are the one and the same. You literally create your policies, and you are running Dearborn, Michigan, based on your Islamic religion and not based on any kind of secular belief. You just proved it. Thank you. You said it yourself. You're saying that as a Muslim. People, of course, are going to say this is a call to prayer, but like, what are these complaints just coming? Why are these complaints just coming forward? Because why are they coming forward now? Because people now are having to deal with your call to prayer. That's why. Again, call of prayer. You don't need all these fucking Muslim places all over the place playing call to prayer. You can have your call to prayer at your mosque, and it's at a low level, basically where no one can fucking hear it, and unless they're in and this is the thing, right? We live in a structured society. If Muslims don't know, if they don't have a watch or a phone to be able to see what fucking time it is to go fucking adhere to their call of prayer, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Clearly you're not devout enough to your religion, and you need someone to constantly tell you when you need to pray. Um, that's not freedom of religion. Hamoud didn't directly respond to the comment, but shrugged and repeated, call to prayer has been happening since the 1970s in Dearborn. The city ordinance states that the noise in residential areas cannot exceed 55 decibels at night or 60 decibels during the day. Loudspeakers are prohibited between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. So what that means, right? We've covered this in a previous stream. So he is invalidating the noise complaints by citizens of non-Muslim citizens of Dearborn about call to prayer that occurs between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. because they don't meet the decibel threshold. But loudspeakers being prohibited between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. are separate to decibels. Okay? That means for 9 hours between 2200 and 0700, there can be no loudspeakers regardless of the decibel that they're being played at. Decibels are only those are applying to when speakers are allowed. So again, clearly he is using him being a Muslim with his Islamic background, right? And in order to disregard complaints of non-Muslims, because this is what Muslims will do. And I'm sorry to tell you this, Dearborn, but you're fucking cooked. And if you don't start doing something against it, right, you guys are going to be fucked. This is how it starts. This is how it starts in every country when Muslims start to take over. No, it's okay. It's okay for us to have a call to prayer because we have this Sydney city ordinance, right? And the city ordinance states we can't use loudspeakers between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. and after 7 a.m. but before 10 p.m. they have to be between these decibel ranges. Noise complaints come in. No, 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 no. See, we did the decibel tests. And although you're complaining that they're doing call to prayer at 5:30 in the morning, the decibel was below the threshold in which we said that it was allowed at. So they're good. They're good. And then it becomes the ordinance for like they so basically if they disregard the ordinance for the time frame, then that ordinance doesn't exist. And then as they subjugate more and more of you to their will, right? That is what they're doing. Then they force upon you higher and higher decibel rates of the call to prayer because more and more the community becomes Islamic as more and more people fucking leave Dearborn, Michigan because it's a shithole, right? And then as it becomes more and more Islamic, they allow higher and higher decibel ranges so more and more people can hear it from a further and further away until you get to the point where you're constantly hearing fucking call to prayer all the goddamn time. Dearborn resident Andrea Unger, who has lived in the city for 40 years, told Fox News Digital last month that she had recorded the call to prayer for 30 consecutive days and found it consistently exceeded 70 decibels. She said she raised concerns with the police department and city council for the past 2 years, but the problem continued. She added that some of her neighbors were hesitant to speak out, fearing they would be labeled as anti-Muslim. Don't fucking care about being anti-Muslim. Embrace being anti-Muslim. They are anti-you. Muslims are anti everyone who is not a Muslim. They don't actually, they're very equal. They're very equal in their inequality, right? Anyone who's not a Muslim, they're against. So stop letting this motherfucker tell you what to do. Take matters into your own hands. If the city council is going to ignore complaints, if the police are going to refuse to do anything, well, welcome. It's time to start a fucking micro insurrection against your city council. Tear down the loudspeakers if they don't want to listen to you. This is the thing. You are obligated as an American citizen to resist tyranny. That is one of your constitutional obligations. It's one of your responsibilities to resist tyranny in all forms. And this is nothing short of fucking tyranny. And it's being imposed on you by a fucking foreigner of a foreign religion. Hamoud also said that most mosques in the city do not make a call to prayer at Fajr or Fajra or dawn compared to the sound to church bells. Church bells sound nice. Call to prayer doesn't. Church bells aren't nearly as loud as call to prayer. Fuck you. Dearborn resident Andrea, I already read that. Sorry. I have heard a lot of people say, I'm glad you said something because people are afraid they'll get called names like Islamophobic, like our mayor Abdullah H. Hamoud called Dearborn resident and Christian minister Ted Barham because you disagree, she said. We're not Islamophobic. We're not anti-Muslim. We're not anti-Jewish. We just want to live in a community that it's always been before something changed 2 years ago to allow this. Yes. Do you know what happened 2 years ago? The threshold for a majority of Dearborn, Michigan, or a significant enough a majority was reached by Muslims. That's what changed. There's nothing wrong with being anti-Muslim. There's nothing wrong with being anti-Jew. There's nothing wrong with being anti-Islam. There's nothing wrong with being anti-Christian. You can be against something. It only becomes a problem when you're against something for wrong reasons. And if you believe in America, you believe in liberalism, where you believe that people are allowed to have their own religions, then you must be anti-Muslim. You must be anti-Islam. Because they don't believe in that same structure that you have as a Westerner. It doesn't make you better because you let somebody take over your country that is supposed to be better than theirs in terms of equality and freedom, and then they fucking remove the equality and the freedom. Because if you allow people to remove freedom and equality like Islam seeks to do, you never were really about freedom and equality. But again, so just remember, he responded to these complaints, and he said himself he's responding to them as being a Muslim.
With the beat of the drum and the fife so high, we march with courage under the sky. Banners wave and hearts on fire. In the name of freedom we aspire. Through valleys green and mountains gray,